Peace and blessings, y'all. My name is El DeLeon, and we are here at Our Crib Uncut with another amazing conversation. Today, I'm joined by Michelle Allman Esdale, as well as Jono.
Hey.
Yeah, I should have learned his last name, but
It's okay.
I'm just
Don't
joking.
worry
I'm just
about
joking.
it.
Actually, what I really want to do is something that's a little bit unconventional. I would love for y'all to actually introduce yourselves, because I could read your bio, but I think that sometimes, it's not saying what you really want to tell the people. So what are, 3 things that we should know about you? And we'll start with Jono and allow the ladies to get a little, a little
Okay.
time to think.
Nice. Tell us.
I'm Jono, like long walks on the beach.
Oh. Which beach?
Which beach? Not Lakeshore. No, but I work in radio and broadcasting distribution. Artist first, but now I've moved into obviously that role and a management role. And then as well, I guess a fun fact, I'm adopted. There you go.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, you came with the fun fact?
I don't know. I thought I'd try. I thought I'd try something new.
All right, Michelle, let us know a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. I'm Michelle Allman Esdale. I am the proud owner and CEO of The Hook & Company, which is an online market space for artist managers and industry professionals. The Hook Sync Group, where I'm the only Black female who owns and operates a sync agency across this great country of Canada. And Sustainable Creative Living, which offers education training for career development and IP for all kinds of aspects in regards to the music industry, film industry, and anything creative, hands down. Amazing. So that's me professionally. Otherwise, I just like to have fun.
See, fun fact, Michelle likes to have fun. Okay.
Should we do mine? that was a really good
We have to do Jono's
intro.
again.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. So 2 things that I heard both of you say, and I think that this is really where we want this conversation to go today, because there's a lot of myths and just misinformation that's going around, and we really want to cut all of that out and get the real on what is the difference between sync, distribution, broadcasting, and because I've been hearing a lot of that sync means that you get your music in movies. But if I was a kindergarten, could you explain to me what sync is? And then, Jono, you can jump to distribution and broadcasting.
Yeah. Oh, love this.
Yeah.
Sync is literally just taking created music already. So whether it's released or unreleased, but already created, and applying it to any visual medium, that being TV, film, commercials, trailers, video games, and at this point in our real world, technology, like Peloton, for example, and synchronizing it to that visual medium. That is the whole point. So editing is incorporated within the synchronization, taking into context dialogue, if somebody's on the screen, product movement, anything like that. And so anytime you apply anybody else's copyright to a visual medium, or a license or clearance is required in order to utilize that body of music for that visual consideration, that's where synchronization or sync comes into play.
Okay, and I love this because this episode is about getting in sync. So I feel that my brain has just attuned to a new algorithm with what you just said. And I'm starting to understand, because I was just about to ask you, like, so what about like if I got my music on XM radio? That's not sync.
No.
Okay. So that's
no.
Jono.
So that's more of like that's a pitch, right? So you're distributing there, right? So through Yangaroo or other means, but you should be going to Yangaroo. If you were to, the way we work essentially is like, it's essentially a digital EPK where it has a bio, photos, they're able to stream and download the song from the notification. Like sync, you're pitching yourself to these radio programmers, and they have the final say on whether they want the song on there or not. Again, like I said, there's other ways of getting on there, but through the service that we have, right, that's the way to do it. Yeah.
And then in your world, Jono, is there ever I guess, a crossover, and maybe even for you too, Michelle, is there ever a crossover of these worlds where, I pitched myself for radio, but then they also said, hey, we like you for a movie. Like, would these folks ever talk?
Yes and no, I guess.
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah.
If you're, let's say, with a label per se, the label is going to map out that potential strategy around the release of maybe the song in an alignment with a sync opportunity. So that way the two are utilized to kind of create that exposure or that distribution for that particular song. But they are on opposite sides of
Yeah.
the industry. I'm a massive advocate for kind of having an idea of understanding that sync, even though we're working with music, you kind of have to consider it in the film industry.
Right.
You are supporting a director or showrunner or any production, their way of utilizing the music to create a mood for their story or product. Whereas radio, it's more direct to the artist in regards to engagement and exposure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really great way to think about it. Because I'm just thinking, I'm imagining myself walking in Walmart tomorrow and like hearing the music, and their objective is just to distribute a bunch of songs in a playlist format.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas with what you do, Michelle, if there was now a commercial for Walmart,
Correct.
then the music
Correct.
that they choose would be your wheelhouse.
Correct.
Okay, I hope y'all were listening
Yeah.
and taking notes, because it could be, I could see where people get confused. I
Yeah.
guess for you, both of you, what's like the biggest misconception that you hear, or that artists come up and they ask you to help them with this, and you're like, that's not what I do?
Placement, like direct placement. Myself as a sync agent, I represent the artist and their body of music, their catalog or their copyrights to move that music over to, television, film, or whatever. I also work directly with music supervisors, which is also a misconception that I am a music supervisor. I am not. Music supervisors are basically represent the director. That's their relationship. They sit with the director at pre-production and discuss what the story is, what's the feeling, what's the tone, what's the mood. How do you identify or describe particular scenes, and what would you hear in those scenes? And that filters down to me.
Okay, so you get notes from the music supervisor saying, we're looking for.
We get a brief after they've created the music cues with the director around what that looks like.
Okay.
Another major misconception before I let you go
no
there.
worries, no worries. No,
because
do you
I-
think?
We
Do you
need to
think?
clear this up.
I
Do you
really
think?
want to
We need to
clear
get
this
in
up.
sync, y'all.
Yeah, I really want to clear this up. Myself as the agent and the music supervisor are not the ones that pick the music.
Ah, who picks the music?
The director.
Okay, and have
Yeah.
you ever been in a situation where someone else had a chance to pick the music? Or I guess like 95%, 100% of the
It
time?
has to come from the director. It is their story.
Okay.
Or the showrunner. So directors work with film, showrunners work with TV, just for that clarity. Both are doing the exact same role, just for different mediums. And so you have to understand it's their story. Alongside maybe scriptwriters. Scriptwriters are not directors a lot of times, just like for a lot of times, let me just say it that way. And so the script writers are going to be very close with the director, but the director is the one that's trying to figure out how to film the scene
Gotcha.
and create the mood in conjunction with the script. And so if, there's a lot of great songs out there that work with the scene, but there's a lot of considerations to think about, like diegetic.
What was the word you just said?
Diegetic.
Diegetic.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to break this one down.
So how much speaking or how much talking is in the scene? Right? Like, is an instrumental the consideration because of the amount of speaking in that scene is happening? I have lost a placement because the hi-hat of all things clashed with the conversation.
Wow.
And now that we're at post, they didn't have enough time to do the editing required. With that being said, that is a consideration. The only person that could really understand that is the director and the music editor when they're working in that capacity.
Right, and that would be done in post.
From a sync perspective, sync is always done in post.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good to know. Thank you so much for breaking that down.
Yeah.
And now, Jono, can you break
Fuck.
down what you do and how that is not sync and a big misconception that people have about what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just jump into like the misconception just because I think a lot of people, well, for one, people come to us because they see radio and television broadcasting. So the first thing that they think is this a sync placement? Like, can I get, for example, we work with like MTV, right? And BET and the Paramount Global Plus channels and things like that. So they're like, how can I get on Love Island? I'm like, you can't with us. That's not how this works.
Okay.
You're distributing a music video to MTV and they are going to make a review of it. They're going to look at it and the programmers and the directors are going to make the final decision. So even with that, like a big misconception too is this video going to make it on MTV? Is this song going to make it on radio? I don't know, right? I don't know if it is, but taking a listen to it, you have a chance. Like, it's good, the quality's there. Doesn't sound like you recorded this in a potato in a washroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's there, you have like qualities, it's just up to the programmer. So I would say like my day-to-day, a lot of the times, like working with clients is opening that conversation up and letting them know that, because we are a paid service at the end of the day, that this is an investment. You're investing in yourself for an opportunity to be seen by these people. And then again, a lot of the artists think that when they send, they're gonna get picked up right away.
Automatically, yeah.
That's not the case. Your song could be sitting in the DMDS, which is Yangaroo, the DMDS library for 6 months before even someone like might listen to it or even give it a chance. So again, some artists want instant gratification. Some artists understand that it's a lit candle, and eventually as it starts going down, it gets brighter. So yeah.
Nice.
Thank
I
you.
like that analogy there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Lit candles
candle.
get brighter as they go down.
More wick.
I like
Exactly.
it. Okay, I love this.
More wick for the lit.
Hey,
Yeah.
you did say you have your own music. No, we won't go there.
No. I've done it once here, but I think that might be done. We'll figure that out. Maybe TT and I will do something.
Yeah. See, you heard it here
Let's see.
first. I love this conversation where it's going because I think that one, hopefully after folks watch this episode, then they will have an understanding of what to actually pitch to both of your platforms. So I would love to hear more about your platforms and the work that you've been doing in the community, corporately. Yeah, I think we'll start there. Like, what kind of work have you done? Like, what kind of projects are you working on? And what are you currently looking for? And then after that, I would love to then go into like, what is the pitch process? Now that we know that you're two separate, you're on this side and this side, like what is the pitch process to get into sync, to get into distribution?
Okay.
Yeah, so first up, if you can let us know a little bit about what you're doing corporately, community, where do you work? And how do you get these opportunities?
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I tell people my job right now is shaking hands and kissing babies.
Michelle for mayor.
Yeah, pretty much.
I spend a lot of time relationship building, to be quite frank with you, because this is a beautiful time right now, in my opinion. Everything is a visual consideration. Like, who reads? Like, I miss libraries, I miss books, but we're kind of really hyper focused on a screen of some capacity. And everything has something happening audibly in a music space now. Like, you know, when I saw Peloton come out, and Peloton is, as much as it's an exercise equipment, it plays music all the time.
does.
All that music has to be licensed. What I do is I standardly am going to shows. I do a lot of conference work. I do a lot of panel work.
And when you say shows, like you'll go to like you're trying to look for
Shows.
artists.
I'm always listening.
Okay.
The beautiful thing about my particular agency, which there's not a ton of sync agencies in Canada.
I have noticed.
Yeah, there's a lot of music supervision spaces, a lot of publishers, but not a lot of agents. And the difference between me and publishers is that I don't take any back end. I don't take any royalty. I represent the artist and I find the placements for their music or their copyrights to live wherever that may be. And so
And that's a fee for service. Like that's where
to a point, I'm commission based on the sync fee.
Okay.
The reason I landed it like that is primarily because I don't represent a genre. I represent BIPOC, LGBTQ, recognized as female and gender diverse composers, songwriters, artists, and whoever else touches music in whatever creative aspects. And so it was important for me to make sure that I didn't gatekeep, especially around a genre. One of my heartaches is when somebody visually is identified as though they should be doing this kind of music.
Right.
And that really breaks my heart. And so one thing about Sync is it actually gives a free platform for any of these individuals to show up outside of maybe their brand or outside of what they look like or who the world thinks they should be or what they should produce musically, and still have a sustainable way to make money and let their music live. And so I want to create those opportunities, which is why I handshake and kiss babies in so many capacities. Education is a big deal for me. Understanding this space is massive. That's where sustainable creative really does live. But I have about 7 different courses that I offer, all aligned with the sync space. Whether that's music production for television and film, sound design and sound effects for video games, cinematic composition, for production side of things, not post-production.
So this
Understanding
is like helping, as you said, like a music producer understand what sounds are actually being asked for, not just making a song and then pitching it out there, but making
working
something
with the
intentionally-
director in
Right.
terms of creating underscore.
Right.
So you're working directly in on the production, which is another paycheck.
Okay.
It's a different paycheck. So I've been doing this right across the country. I literally came back from Nova Scotia a day ago, hosting a 7-week program for 2 training aspects, one around music supervision, which was super exciting, leveraging that kind of training for the Black community out in Nova Scotia. I've done this for Edmonton. I've done this for PEI. I've worked with. I'm heading out to BC at the end of next month. So it's really, and I have an ongoing conversation with Music Yukon. Fingers crossed I can get up there. So it's really exciting to be able to open up the iron curtain, as I call it, around this space, and not only let them know exactly what sync is, how it works, who are the movers and shakers in the scene, but really have a more concentrated effort around understanding their music, what they can create if they haven't created it already, and leveraging those opportunities.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love what you said about the fact that sync allows almost anybody, like because there's a lot of like ageism and racism, so many isms within the music industry. And it's nice to know that there is a path that an artist can take, especially also the artists that want to remain anonymous. Like there's still that factor. Maybe you just really love making music and don't really enjoy the other aspects of it, like the going to the shows or
the industry's getting
touring
weird.
and
With the way the labels have been rejigging, if I will say that. Touring is becoming more expensive and harder to get to. There's less stages. COVID helped out with that in terms of our venue spaces. When it comes to the sync space, landing a couple syncs, depending on where it is, can really change you economically. It really is a sustainable way to live.
Yeah.
Love it. Those royalties.
Those royalties,
honestly.
I tell
Yeah.
ya. Those sync fees.
Yeah.
And
good.
if somebody wanted to learn more, like you said that you're doing you're doing courses all across Canada and hopefully across the world one day soon.
Yes.
So they can go to Hook & Co. and that's where they would be able to engage.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thehookandco.com. Just check under Sustainable Creative Living. You're going to find what you need.
Amazing. I love that. So Jono, how can we get involved in, so you mentioned it's music distribution and broadcasting.
Yeah, so I guess a misconception to add that
Okay.
too, right?
Yep.
Is like we don't distribute to like Spotify or anything. Like we aren't doing DSPs, right? It's like
Okay.
we are
And
strictly
DSPs for the kindergartners at home.
digital streaming platforms.
All right.
So, right, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify. Who uses Tidal, but whatever. Spotify. No shade to the people who use a Tidal. You're probably listening to some good songs, hopefully. But yeah, like to get to work with us, I mean, honestly, we're a paid service, so I mean, like, sure, come and work with us and like spend money, but
So
it's,
actually, that's a good place to start. So
Yeah.
can any artist work with you?
yes.
Doesn't matter what kind of music they make.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, right? So it's free to sign up, and obviously you have to pay. And then again, I can go into a whole sales conversation and be like, get the pro account, $99 for the month, and if you do this, this is this. I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, anyone can service through our system, essentially, or service, right? So we work with the major labels, we work with independents, and even the independent labels, right? Any genre can be sent. Not every genre should be sent, right? Not every song should be sent. And as a consultant and an account manager and just someone that cares about artists and their money, I will sit there, listen to your music, figure out what your game plan is. You will chat to me for an hour about how great of an artist you are, and I will sit there and say, this is not worth your spend right now.
Okay.
And again, I've been wrong before, as many of us have been. We're all human. I might have a certain taste or bias to specific types of music. But again, like, I've been working in this for a while. I've seen what has been picked up and what hasn't. I've seen great songs get picked up by independent artists.
Yeah.
I've seen bad songs get picked up from independent artists. I've seen great songs not get picked up, right? It just really depends on the programmer and what they're looking for at that time. And maybe you just don't have a story. Maybe there isn't something there that's marketable for them. Maybe there isn't, like, it's a risk, right? To give you airtime and essentially pay you, because they have to pay SoCan for playing your music. Especially even with SiriusXM, it's 45 USD per spin,
Yeah.
right?
For one.
Yeah.
For one spin. So
Wow.
Satellite will
yeah.
win, and pay audio will win
Yeah.
every time.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
for
like,
sure.
I would say it's sync, then live performances, merch, and then, well, merch is
Yeah.
Iffy, depending
iffy,
on-
whatever. But
yeah.
like, if you have like a huge fan base and a loyal fan base, that merch can be super successful for you. And then it's sync licensing, or not sync licensing. Sorry,
so
SiriusXM.
Right.
You know, that depends where the sync lands,
Yeah, true.
right? Because there's features, there's background.
Yeah.
There's commercials are trying to figure out ways to do that too. There was a long time commercials wasn't paying out royalties because, I mean, why? You're kind of dumping it on a commercial that'll last for 13 weeks. Commercials usually do 13 weeks rotation.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah.
So something that has longevity, like it might get
Usually.
played again next year.
Well,
That's when
think
you're
about
gonna
your
get
TV
royalties.
shows and your films, right?
Right.
Like, you watch that all the time. Everybody's watching whenever, but not everybody's gonna want to watch the same commercial like
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
year, April.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a product and a conversation being sold in that capacity,
Yep.
which is why the sync fee is like massively larger than television and film, like ridiculously larger.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
you can land in commercial, you are right. You doing all right.
Yeah.
Like, you doing all right.
Because you'll get a big check in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
is
yeah,
what
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're doing
And then
all
if
right.
you're get into a show or a movie, chance for you to get those royalties.
Is
Okay.
Right. So
okay.
you got to even take in account broadcast. What broadcast station? Some stations. So can I go into a story like
Yes,
super
let's
quick?
story time.
I'm not going to call this individual's name because I want to keep working.
Yeah.
Real
Valid.
talks. Their sync fee is not exciting at all. Like, it's almost like, really, guys? Like, it's questionable. Like, if you see it up front, you're like, I'm not sure. But where they place their shows is on a particular broadcast that replays their shows over and over again. And so at first, when I saw the sync fee at first, I was like, I don't know who I can pitch this to. This is like, it's almost embarrassing. But when I did the research to understand where the show was going to end up, I realized that back end royalty is going to be sweet.
Yeah.
It's going to compensate for what they didn't get in the beginning.
Right.
So I say all that to say, research is great. Negotiation also, that's like a negotiating tool
Right.
around like a
Yep.
sync fee too, to be quite frank with you. Am I going to fight for a larger fee when I know I'm going to get a really heavy back end?
Right.
Up to you. I don't tell people what to do. But yeah, like these are all, so when you, like you're lining it up, it really depends
Right.
around that. But some people just live in the trailer space. Some people just live in the commercial space. Some people do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
and
can-
something that you said, Jono, about the fact, and I wonder if, I know what you said before, Michelle, but I'm curious to know if your answer will change. When you said, Jono, that it does matter about your story and your brand
Yeah.
for distribution, like they want to see who you are.
Yeah.
And it matters, like it matters to you that this person has something about their career or something about their music
Yeah.
that it can live with them being the face of it.
Yeah, like for example, I mean, again, not saying names of artists, right?
No names. No names.
But there was a client of mine and an artist of mine that I was working with, and they were like, I don't really, my stream numbers aren't the best right now, my following, this and this, but I'm opening up for Code of the Friend next week. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, so you have nothing to outline, but you're opening up for a
Like
a
a
pretty
big
decent big
artist,
artist in Toronto. Okay, let's highlight that. Then we come back and like again, this is a conversation of like reservicing and things like that. But we end up reservicing it, and it's like, well, now the streams are up. Now you have an increased following. Oh, you're doing another show because of that. And now there's this. So we keep the momentum going. We keep telling this story. So when radio sees it, they go, oh, I remember this person. Oh, and they like within the way that our service works is we have a library essentially. So if you were to look up that artist's name, you would see all their past releases.
Right.
And it would be the same ones. It would just be updated ones. So within the promo text player aspect, you would say, okay, before they had 10,000 streams, I know I said that it wasn't a lot, but before they had 10,000 streams, now they're at 150 within, and it's been only 3 weeks. Okay, maybe this is an artist that we should look at. And then they bring that over to the director, and the programmer talks to the director and says, hey, look, like you're building momentum, they're building momentum. And sometimes the director might be like, not yet,
okay.
not yet, right? So I hope that answered the question.
Yes,
but-
and I think a follow-up question to that for both of you is when it comes to pitching for sync and for distribution, I know that, Jono, you mentioned that there is this fee for service, but now there is this other conversation that you tend to have with artists
Yeah.
to really decide whether or not this is a good investment for them.
Yeah.
And then for you, Michelle, I'm curious to know, like, how do people approach you, and how should they approach you? How do they?
Yeah.
And then how should they?
I love that. I'm probably the easiest to approach because I don't make decisions. I represent the artist, and I understand where there are with syncs, so I don't have too many gates to keep, if you will.
But will you tell people, like, hey, that sound, that's not, like,
This is the thing. I love this space because it's not as picky as radio.
Okay.
You have to think TV. Like if you thought about TV all the way around the world, there are independent filmmakers, there's feature massive major production studios, spaces. There's some in English, there's some in not, there's some in different eras. Like, so, even when sometimes I speak to artists and they're like, oh, I just released my new music. And I'm like, well, what about your old stuff? And they get real finicky. Well, I don't really I've changed, I don't want to. And I'm like, I get that. But if you created it in the earlier 2000s and the film is taking place in the earlier 2000s, you have the sound, right? And so it's not going to be judged as harshly like radio or even on stage.
True, because
if you
radio
will.
wants now and they want
You're
relevant.
catering to that.
Trendy.
Kind of.
Exactly.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah,
okay,
but-
we'll get to
Yeah.
that.
And so the pitch for me, if you're going to pitch to me, is one, I want to make sure that all your music is registered. I don't play. It has to be. This is a licensing space.
And who does it have to be registered with? Like, what are the things, the check boxes?
Yeah, definitely. So, like, if you're here in Canada, SOCAN, otherwise BMI, ASCAP, PRS. I really don't care where it comes from. I do have artists from literally around the world. I do have an agent out in the US. I have a great friend who's a music supervisor out in UK. Shout out to, never mind, let me not drop the name. But she did the supervision for Top Boy, right? Like big, I'm really trying to work my way around the handshaking space. So it doesn't matter where you're registered, that's really where you should be registered. A sound exchange potentially, depending on how you are going to work in the US. Because we're talking about publishing, we're also talking about public performance royalties. So there is consideration around that. So registration is absolutely key. Catalog, I would love 10 or more. I would love 10 or more. There's some that just started and they've got a song and they're like, can you pitch this? And I mean, I can, but you're gonna probably wait a while. And it's not because the way I move the music, you're giving me a song that may land only in a certain way.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to wait for either that project to show up or for that director to identify that that song is great for that project. And so it's slimmer pickings. Give me some body. That way we can start really like.
So you want to see
around.
like all even so that, I'm very curious about that because you mentioned so as long as it's registered, if I have all these songs, some of them maybe they're short, some are long. Like you're okay to hear all of them.
Absolutely, I listen to everything because I need to understand and know my catalog.
Okay.
Because the sync space moves quick. I could get a brief from a music supervision space in the morning and it's due by the afternoon. And so I need to know my catalog so I can put that playlist together and pitch it out. I love it when they come with I don't have any samples.
Okay, yes.
Okay, because not to say I wouldn't, but the fact if you tell me is great because then I can prepare who I need to prepare.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then you're talking a different kind of clearance. But I
So
prefer
not
no
impossible,
samples.
but we prefer no samples.
Yeah, majority, I'd say about right now, I'm sitting at like a 90% threshold of my catalog with absolutely no samples.
That's amazing.
And
That's amazing.
and they own all their publishing and their masters, making my library what is called a one-stop.
Okay.
Meaning supervisors now know they can come to me because I have only one stop to get that sign off.
Right.
So in those moments of movement, in those moments of maybe the budget is getting conflicted, you have a short period of time to figure this clearance out, I'm your girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. And
Yeah.
what about for you, Jono?
What was the question again?
How like if someone wants to pitch to you, what
Yeah.
should they do and what do they do?
Just send me your music. Just like if you believe in yourself and you think your music is the next big thing, I'm not here to, ruin your dreams or anything, because art is subjective, right? And I think like the one thing that when you were asking Michelle about like, is this like more details about the song? I'm not an A&R, I'm not an engineer. I don't care about your levels and things like that. It's just like, if it doesn't sound like it could work, that's just me saying that. It's like, right. I just don't think it's gonna work. Another thing too would just be like
Industry standard.
Yeah, if it's an industry standard. Also, like, do you have the money to afford this? Like, is this really what you want to invest your money in? Like, meta ads, you could do way more damage on a meta ad and spend way less. And that's not me saying like, hey, don't distribute through Yangaroo. You should distribute through Yangaroo music when you're ready. But have the conversation with me first and I'll let you know. No, I know. But I mean, like if the song is not there yet, and it's just you're at this stage of your career where quite frankly it's already hard to like market yourself, build that up first. Like really start to like, and I'll work with you forever and be a friend and someone that, like I'm not gonna close a door on you because I just don't think that your song is not ready for radio. I just wanna make sure that you're not wasting money.
Yeah.
Because money is valuable in this industry. Like I've had an experience where someone came to me and their song was all right, Actually, okay, I'm being nice. It was not that good.
was not
It was not that good. It wasn't mixed properly.
So awkward.
Again, and I can't say that. But he was like, yeah, I'm ready to spend $1,000. I was like, okay, right? And then he goes, yeah, like I have 2 young daughters right now. And it's money's kind of hard, but I think this is gonna be my big break. And I was like, feed your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, like this isn't going to blow you up. This is like, quite honestly, you're about to burn $1,000. Like the system, like the service works, but it's like what you might get picked up on one college radio station. That's not gonna
Right.
give you the royalties to sustain yourself, right?
Or feed your kids.
Or feed your kids.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get on Sirius XM. I'll be very honest, right? But like these are conversations I have, and I'm just like, for me, transparency is key, and I feel like that's why with a lot of the clients that I work with, they trust my opinion, because when I talk to them, I say, hey, look, let's look at the catalog. What else is there in here that we can look at that might fit for radio?
Yeah.
Right? Or what do you have coming up? What is your
Yeah.
marketing rollout? What
Keep
is
that momentum.
like where can we
Totally.
like, what can we do here? Like if you really want to do this, let's figure it out. I'll support you.
Yeah.
And then again, since we are a paid service, how can we make this cheaper for you?
Yeah.
Right? Like I know you want to spend $1,000 on this one thing. Well, what if you did this? You could probably spend $50. Right?
Amazing.
So that's kind of how I like to work with a lot of the clients of mine. Again, sorry, Yangaroo, I don't like that we're a paid service, but we have to make money at the end of the day. We are an industry. If I could support every single artist that comes through and say, let's just go here and let's do it, let's do it. But yeah. Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed this conversation. I feel like I could ask y'all a million questions because being also a music artist myself, very curious about both of these industries. And I'm so glad that we got an opportunity today to really break them down. And before we go though, if there was something that maybe I did not touch upon, but you feel is incredibly important for an artist to know before they get involved with your work in the music industry, what would that be? Like a piece of advice, guidance, could be, anything that you're just like, you have to know this.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I want artists to know is that radio isn't dead. Broadcasting isn't dead. It's still very much alive. You might think just because everyone's doing things on Spotify and Instagram that that's the main focus right now. It's not. Yeah, I guess, I mean, loyalty lies in radio. At the end of the day, people wake up every single morning and tune into their shows because they trust that person to give them a playlist that they can either discover new music or listen to the music that, they've experienced or, they like. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is streaming services are so oversaturated. There's no entry level. It's just quite literally, I can do this, record it, and go, it's on Spotify now.
That's it.
And you just have a 3-second thing of me smacking on a table, and now I'm on
ASMR?
Spotify, right? So, yeah, drop that. Can we put that in sync? No, but
Yes.
but
Yes,
yeah,
you can.
I guess that's kind of what I just want artists to understand, and you can make a career off of going to radio, especially with like Sirius XM. CBC, shout out Igor, as well as even Stingray. Like those are my top 3 when I work with artists because they pay the most royalties. And holla at your boy, I can assist you.
Yes, and so that would be at...
You can do yangaroomusic.com and then just sign up. There'll be a sign up button there. It's free to sign up. If you want to work with me, reach out, just ask for Jono. Or you can just hit me up directly at Dunno Jono, DUNNOJONO on Instagram. I would give you my number, but no.
This might go out too long.
But you might get that later if we're working well together. Anyways, I'm chatting a lot, so Michelle, you carry it right now.
Yeah, Michelle, let us know what is that need to
Well,
know information
I
for an
mean,
artist that wants to work with you, or even I was
Just
thinking someone that
period.
might want to be in your position, like
Oh,
helping
wow.
other artists to sing.
That's cool. I'm gonna do both if that's
Yeah,
quick.
do it.
So I'll try to be very succinct with the information
that
here. Yeah. In regards to your music, understand who owns the masters and the publishing. Be very clear. Have those conversations. This is your business. This is this business. I'm going to put that on the top of the mountain because nobody's going to touch it with a 10-foot pole if you don't know. In terms of wanting to get into the space, love your TV watching. Like, watch your movies, watch your TV.
What? You're
watch
saying binge watch? Do the
you know
thing.
what? The really cool thing about this is if you start to build out a catalog for sync and you're watching your Netflix and your Hulus and your Primes, that's research and development. Talk to your accountant. You might be able to get that written off,
Yeah.
right?
Period.
And when you're watching it, and you hear something that's similar in nature to the music that you create or would like to create, just pause for a second and see what is that visual medium. Is it thriller? Is it rom-com? Is it coming of age? And I always say when you're watching like your Netflix, for example, before you hit play, not after the credits, but before you hit play, if you scroll down, you'll always see more suggested.
Yeah.
Those are the other shows that have the same tone. Because ironically, television, specifically in terms of shows, do a lot of training the audience to know what it sounds like.
Right.
And so now you have different shows. You could either punch into IMDb and take a look at who the music supervisor is and then start shooting your shot.
Yeah.
Or you can just wait to the commercials. The credits, and you'll see the music supervisor there, and then you can do the research around the music supervisor. What else has he done? What else are they working on? IMDb is your gold because you'll always see what's coming down the pipe. Where are they in production? When is post? Post is your money ticket. You want it a couple months before you see the release date because that's when they're playing in post. Start pitching from there. These are like some really great ways to get yourself
I'm just like,
prepared.
where's my phone? I want to write it all down.
Start ways to pitch. And don't harass the music supervisors.
I was just about to ask you that. I'm
Yeah.
like, so should I just hit them up?
You know what? They are probably the most lovers of music within the entire industry. Because you can imagine the amount of music they have to listen to find 9 seconds to fit here.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and just to keep an understanding around it, reality TV, for example, has 80 to 120 music cues in every single episode.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of music. So they have to move fast. So if you don't hear from them, don't get mad. But you can send them like, hey, the follow-up maybe in a couple of weeks. My tactic is to say, hey, I've got some new music I thought that you could really hone in on. In hopes that you like the music I sent you before. It's not me doing hey, did you check out my stuff?
Right.
It's me continuously saying, hey, here's some new music.
Right.
Because they love new music. They love indies because they know that it's quick, it's fast, and I'm going to keep it real, it's cheap. And so don't get it twisted. They're really watching, they are listening, they just live in a very fast space. That's why they don't get back to you. But keep pitching and strategically consider what libraries might look like too. Producers out there, if you just got a bag of music that you know will never land anywhere, maybe libraries are for you. Because it's like, I call it set it and forget it. Just make sure you understand how they pay you out and what publishing they take and if they're non-exclusive or exclusive. Otherwise, do your thing. Like, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Make it part of your strategy, not your only strategy.
Big
Right?
advice. I love
Yeah.
it. So many gems were dropped. I cannot wait for folks to be able to really engage with the information that we have shared today, and I'm looking forward to seeing where both of you end up because Michelle, I know you're going around the world. Jono, you're probably going around the world too. Like, this is
Hopefully,
going to be
yeah.
amazing. You'll probably be together because I know
Yeah.
you both end up in the same spaces a lot.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We got a plan. So we are out of time, but we are so
This is
honored,
great.
grateful, thankful that you made it out here today, especially amidst your busy schedule. I would love for you to one more time let the people know where to find you and how to get in contact.
Yeah, I'm Jono. You can catch me on Instagram at Dunno Jono, Dunno.
Dunno.
Dunno Jono, Dunno Jono. And if you want to do some radio stuff, sign up.
Radio.
Super easy.
Love it.
yangaroomusic.com. Sign up, or you can even reach out on the Instagram page. I run that social, so please, if you're interested, hit us up. I'm not begging you, but I'm kind of begging you because we need more music going to radio.
See, they have to pitch people too.
Yeah,
Yes.
but-
That's a thing.
I love it. It's like a
That's the
cyclical
thing.
pitching
We do
that's
have
going
to.
on.
I do
Yeah.
pitch. That's
Yeah.
true. I am Michelle Allman Esdale, owner and proud founder of The Hook and Company, The Hook Sync Group, and Sustainable Creative Living. You can find me on IG at The Hook and Co. is 1, The Hook Sync Group is 2, The Hook SCL is 3. You can holler at me directly at Ms. Meesh17, MZMEESH17. I like people too, follow me. I like that. As well as visit the website. We've got a ton of information. I love meeting new individuals. I love also hearing about what you want to do and where you want to go. Help me help you make it make sense if I can. And you can find me there at thehookandco.com.
Beautiful. I love that we are in this together. This has been another episode of Our Crib Uncut, creating resources for inclusive broadcasting across the entire music industry. I want to thank our guests today, Michelle, Jono. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
spending some
Thank you.
time at the crib.
Yeah.
All right. Until
It's
next
a
time,
dope
y'all.
crib. We made it to the
Yes.
couch.
Yeah, we made it to the couch.
Yes. Blessings. This is where the magic happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Blessings, y'all. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Good one.
Bye. Everyone, bye.
Hello, welcome everybody back. We're at Our Crib Uncut. I'm here with Michelle Allman. She sat down, spit her whole entire spiel about sync, how to get in sync with Jono, and I'm here to do 1 minute at the crib with her. Michelle, you ready?
I think so.
Okay, let's go. First question.
Yeah.
All right. What is one red flag in the music industry partner?
In an industry partner.
Yes.
Whoa.
One red flag.
Oh my goodness. Man, I sussed those out so quick.
You're like, no, that'll do it. The way he's walking, that'll do it.
100% intention. You know what? It depends how quick they want to know how much money you got. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really go
So you're like
straight
straight for the money?
I think so, because to work in the industry, you have to know who you're working with and
Yeah.
why. So I'm gonna go with, if you want to know about the dollar before you want to know the person, nabada.
Love it, love it. I love that. Okay, next question. What song would instantly make you jump up and dance as soon as it's played?
Oh my God, anything Amapiano right now, to be quite frank with you.
no,
That part, I am an energy person. I don't
Yeah.
need a song, okay?
Yeah.
I need a song.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
This is all about the tools and the apps. What is one app that like literally saves your life?
My calendar.
Ooh.
My calendar.
Google
If it's-
Calendar?
Yeah, Google Calendar. I do everything Google. I really do, because it just is one place. Everything, Drive, all the things. If it's not on my calendar, you probably won't see me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Use
Yeah.
your calendar, folks. Plug it in.
That.
Okay, next thing. Favorite music score in a film or even a placement that you've done?
Oh man, this is so tough. Okay, so in Snatch, if you remember that movie by Guy Ritchie, they played Golden Brown. It was the original version. Oh my gosh, it's killing me. Omar Laifu recreated it. It starts with a T. It's gonna come to me. That song in that scene, when this is just after Brad Pitt got knocked out, and no, he just knocked out the big boxer, and they played this, and it comes in with this really crazy organ accordion, and it's just like, it's everything. It's just,
Okay.
for me, it's everything. That's me watching something.
Now your placement.
I was fortunate to work on a beautiful independent film. It was starring Oliver Samuels.
Ooh.
And yes, was the lead in the movie called Sugar Dumpling. It was around a Jamaican family, I guess. However, it was about how to love somebody you don't like. A disconnect between a father and daughter, and the father now has dementia.
Okay.
The composer I brought in was Adrian Bent, directly here from Toronto.
Oh, nice,
And he
local.
was able to score cinematic reggae throughout the entire film.
Oh, nice.
meant something to me
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot, because you rarely hear reggae, period.
Makes it okay.
Yeah.
Tell us again. What's that? That's that whole movie.
Sugar Dumpling by Tristan Barracks.
Amazing. Go
Yeah.
check that out, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fantastic.
Last thing I want you to do, tell the camera, what's one thing you would tell your future self?
To always remain interested in seeing how great you can be.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for spending
Thank
1
you.
minute with me. Tell the world where you're at.
You can find me on a website at thehookandco.com or IG or any of my social medias at The Hook and Co, The Hook SCL, as well as The Hook Sync Group.
Amazing. Thank you. Our Crib Uncut. We're out. Michelle Allman.
This was good. I like it. Thank you. Bye.
Perfect.
All right.